mid or late game. And that's always been kind of an interesting case. There are a couple champs that you really can't itemize that way, but for the most part, that is pretty much how itemizing gets broken down. For our team here, Kenan's really going to start carrying really well in the early and mid game. If the game is going okay, but it's not super ridiculously great, it's one of those situations where he'll be okay still in the early mid. He won't really dominate in the late game as much. You know, his damage will kind of peter out a little, especially if you consider that opponents can buy magic resist to kind of counter him a little bit. In particular, your tanks tend to be really good for if they're not the damaging sort, they're really good in that early mid. So you see me catch the taunt and the kite play to back off. And now you see me port back. Pretty fast play there, just making sure we drop the Mumu as quickly as we can. And yeah, that's pretty much the case there, where you do have your late gamers. This particular comp, we really just have Tristana for that sort of late game damage, but she's gotten really good last hits in the early game, so we kind of speed up that late game process. And that's the case with any carries, is you want to make sure that you kind of speed up that late game process as best you can. There you see Irelia kind of coming in. All of our guys are pretty low though, so she's not stunning, she's only slowing. There you see me come in and ult, try to catch somebody, don't catch anybody, toss a Q. Let's see, what else is there to discuss in regards to composition? I was really hoping I'd have a lot more to discuss since this video is pretty short. It's only like 30 minutes long. Oh, I guess I could go through like a tiered list of who I figure are your best picks for each role. Solo Mid published there's a blog post on what they consider their tiered picks for their lanes and junglers and all of that are. Jungler picks, at the absolute high levels, you're talking Nunu and Amumu are your two really, really great jungle picks. Nunu especially, his counter jungle skills and his ability to, like, basically have two smites, because he's got smite and his consume, really, really helps when you're jungling, because it means that you can take down neutral camps a lot easier, and his counter jungling is pretty solid. You know, he can sneak in and like I said, he can just consume something to nail it down. So you see us get caught a little bit, but it's not really enough. Their team doesn't really have a good, like I said, their team doesn't really have an AoE to capitalize on. Here you see me taunt in. Unfortunately, our Kenan dies. I whip the Q out, thinking I can get the shot. Don't quite get it. There you see me die. Unfortunately, kind of got a little bit over. Or Kenan went in a little bit quick, and I didn't quite catch it in time. And my ult was down, so I couldn't make up for his tanking the turret. Bit unfortunate, but that's okay. What was I discussing? I kind of lost train of thought. Oh, right. So composition stuff. Like there you saw. You know, Amumu would all, honestly, even if they had both of their people move in on that, they could at best take out one person, and that's, depending on their focus target, might not even be that useful to them. Here you see our Taric being chased down by this gangplank. I'm pretty sure he's okay, he's got clarity up. There you see me teleport in to kind of throw it off. Unfortunately, our Taric does not spin immediately. You know, maybe he figured he wouldn't survive if we fought him. I don't know. Yeah, that's actually another thing to bring up. When you're picking your teams, make sure you know what the deficiencies of your teammates are, if there are any, or if there's deficiencies that you have that you're not used to. There you see my ult wasn't quite up, so it kind of made it a little funky. You see our team just kind of circling him really, really quickly, looking to get that jump on him. There you see kind of a late stun there, but that's okay. You see us look to take this red buff really quickly. Our tank kind of just, our Taric just kind of hanging out around here. Probably would have been better to stand in the bush, just knowing the damage outputs of the opposing team. They really didn't have anything that should have scared him too much. But, you know, that can happen. Like I said, you have to